To Decree 318 of March 5, 2022, issued by the Ministry of the Interior, rules are established for the preservation of public order during the period of elections of the Congress of the Republic on March 13 of this year.
Among the norms issued by the Ministry of Interior for voting are the following. Regarding demonstrations and acts of a political nature, notice must be given to the respective mayor prior to the holding of parades or demonstrations. As of Monday, March 7 and until Monday, March 14th of 2022, political meetings may only be held in enclosed areas. During Election Day, all kinds of propaganda, demonstrations, communiques, and interviews with political electoral purposes through radio, press, and television, as well as mobile, static, or sound propaganda are prohibited. The mayor shall indicate the public places authorized to post this kind of propaganda after consultation with a committee composed of representatives of the different parties, political movements, social movements, significant groups of citizens, and candidates participating in the election in order to ensure an equitable distribution. Citizens who suffer from physical limitations and ailments that prevent them from being able to fend for themselves may exercise their right to vote accompanied to the voting booth without prejudice to the secrecy of the vote. The document establishes that governors and mayors must adopt the necessary measures to prohibit and restrict the sale and consumption of alcoholic beverages from 6 p.m. on Saturday, March 12, until 6 a.m. on Monday, March 14. They may also decree a curfew in order to prevent possible disturbances of public order and also restrict the circulation of motor vehicles, boats, motorcycles, or any of these with companions during the period deemed convenient with the purpose of preventing possible alterations of public order, among other things.
Yesterday, Sunday, the former president of the Republic, Álvaro Uribe, visited the department to share with the community and provide support to the candidates of his party in the upcoming legislative elections.
During a press conference, the former president gave his expectation for the upcoming elections on March 13.
I am worried because in the country there are advances and there are things that are missing. There are good things and there are worrying things. And there is an enormous risk that the country loses a path of freedom and that it remains in the power of this mixture of socialist corruption and narco-terrorism. We defend a safe country in such a difficult moment where there are worrying situations like Cauca. We defend a country of private companies, and San Andres has been an epicenter of entrepreneurship in Colombia.
On the other hand, the former president referred to the reconstruction of Providence, the feelings of the community, and the progress of the government of this issue.
It has not been easy for the government. After having conversed with some of you, I understand that the desperation of the citizens. There are citizens who still do not have their homes, but I trust that with the progress made by the government, they can deliver a fully recovered and safe Providence, which generates hope again. I understand the desperation of the citizens, and I also recognize the eagerness of the government. It will be useful to maintain a permanent dialogue with the citizens because they must be understood and the enormous effort of the government must be recognized.
On other issues affecting the agenda of the department, such as the border dispute with Nicaragua, the former president said that his perspective, it is better to have 40 years of diplomatic difficulties than to surrender to the sea of the territory, and that it is essential to hold a consultation among the community. Finally, he expressed his support for the candidates to the Senate and House of Representatives for the Democratic Center Party in the department, Jason Taylor and Eliezer Gomez.
I do it with democratic commitment, with the affection to all the citizens of San Andres. For all, Eliezer and Jason represent these flags, and we are all pleased that in moments of such difficulty, this party has been there for Colombia in moments of adversity.
At the end of the press conference, the former president ended his visit by walking the streets of the island downtown area, handing out flyers and talking directly to the community.
And during the weekend, the closing of the campaign of the Cambio Radical party took place. Members of the party aspiring to the House of Representatives shared with the community and gave a message to all their followers.
During the evening, called the Knights of Friends, the candidate to be re-elected to represent the island in the House of Representatives, Jorge Mendez, expressed his gratitude for the support of the community.
Muy complacido, realmente muy complacido, agradecido con Dios por esta cantidad de personas.
Very pleased and thankful with this amount of people that are showing their affection and support for us today. That gives us a lot of motivation for the rest of the campaign. These 8 days are to dedicate them to the logistics and with the help of God and the people to achieve the victory on March 13th. Furthermore, to tell you that Jorge Mendez, from the first day that he took on the challenge of being able to lead in the Congress of the Republic and to represent you, I have strived day by day for San Andres to be at the top of the agenda of the national government, and to achieve that, the national government advances in issues that today we are pleased to be able to show.
Katia Outen, who is also a candidate for the House of Representatives for the Cambio Radical political party, gave a few words to the attending community and highlighted the importance of the role of women in society.
I've accepted this challenge to represent all women because we really need to be heard. We have been in a struggle in which precisely this week it is being celebrated. We have sought this space to be able to be seen, so like men, we all have the opportunity to dream as well. Even though we are workers, fighters, and we are the fundamental pillar of our department, we are the ones who push our family and for everyone to go out to work or study.
Let's remember that March 13, the election to elect the member of the Congress of the Republic will be held in San Andres. 47,116 potential voters and 7 voting stations have been identified. In Old Providence, 4,375 potential voters and 1 voting station. In addition, there are a total of 6 lists of registered candidates for Congress.
And on Saturday, March 5th, the candidate for the Colombia Justa Libre Party in coalition with the Partido de la U closed his campaign.
The candidate for the House of Representatives of the Colombia Justa Libre Party in coalition with the U Party, Partido de la U, Arnold Brown, closed out his campaign this weekend. With performances and guest artists, he tried to keep his supporters entertained, who listened to his proposals to vote for him this coming March 13 in the elections to the Congress of the Republic.
Todo ha sido,
All has been the reward of the work we have done, grateful to God. This is to show the population that there are people who want to show something different, but with all the effort, with all the drive to move the population forward.
The candidate made known some of the proposals he would develop if he were to become a member to the House of Representatives.
Una de las cosas y proyectos que tenemos es universidad.
One of the things we have is a departmental university as our project. Our young people are not having a university. We need a university here to preserve our culture and above all to give opportunity for young people like me who have had to fight. We can have it easily to be able to contribute to our archipelago, innovation and improvement in health. We all know that health is critical. We need to bring development to improve health. At this time, I am currently getting the specialization in medical law, first specialist in medical law, a young man with the desire to bring transformation in the area of health, no corruption whatsoever. We need to create a special law to give autonomy to OCRE. Unfortunately, it needs autonomy so that the resources can arrive in the best way possible.
In the meantime, some supporters refer to why they support Arnold Brown.
The reason why I am supporting my candidate is because he's a person who is principled, stands for social work, and is committed to helping San Andres.
Apoyo a Arnold Brown porque es un joven.
I support Arnold Brown because he's a young man who intends to do the right thing, because he has the fear of God, which is the most important thing, and he is a young man who represents us.
It should be noted that the elections for the House of Representatives and the Senate of the Republic will be held this March 13, where islanders will choose who will represent them for the next 4 years.
And in other news, for several hours, the family had to live with the lifeless body of one of their relatives due to the delays in the removal of the body.
During this weekend, the death of a citizen identified as Fernando Bustillo Vélez in the sector of Siribie was reported. According to first versions, the citizen would have fallen from his bed and died. People close to the deceased reported negligence in the removal of the body, while stating that once the lifeless body was found, they called the ambulance service of the hospital, police, and prosecutor's office. These entities presented delays because they attributed the responsibility of the removal of the body to other agencies and therefore for several hours the body remained in his home until the CTI made the technical inspection of the corpse. According to what has been made known to the public, the delays of the entities consulted by the relatives of the deceased were due to the fact that the reasons for the death were unknown. The entities were not clear about who was responsible for the removal of the body.
And to the department returns the Expo Job Fair for Women, dedicated to all those women of the islands in search of a job. The mission coordinator of the entity spoke about it.
There are 156 job openings for the women interested in employment. The Regional Center San Andres invites this March 8 and 9 to the Expo Job Fair for Women.
Have a journey fi vinculate the human dema for island. We have an interior strength that the Lord give us as a woman, and we want to honor the woman in this day. So the Sena making a celebration of the International Day of the Woman through an activity that named Expo Empleo Mujer. So we are going to have 159 vacancy, where we are starting from tomorrow, the 8th of March, at the Park of Manawar, from 9 o'clock in the morning till 4:30. On the 9th of March, we are going to be at the Sena in the principal office from the CMOs, where each person can come and vinculate. So we're inviting all our women, our young girls that at home, please come. The opportunity open for us. We have all kind of work.
On March 8, the event will take place at the Man of War Park, and on March 9 at the Sena San Andres facilities. For more information, please visit www.expoempleosenamujer.com.
And now let's get to know other facts that are making news in our brief news sections of today.
The National Police of the Archipelago Department, through its Prevention and Citizen Educational Group, conducted activities to promote and disseminate the hotline for women victims of violence 155 in different sectors of the island, with the aim of encouraging citizen reporting and the care route in cases such as these, through door-to-door visits and talks by police officers seeking to reduce this crime. The Control and Surveillance Group of the Coralina Environmental Corporation relocated and released 7 large iguanas and a rocco ishili in the Old Point Regional Park. The species were previously being cared for in the bioclimatic house of the environmental entity. In a joint effort between the departmental government and Invermar, a workshop was held for the deaf population of the island in order to create new signs of the marine organisms that inhabit the archipelago and in turn to study the species found in the mangroves of the island. The workshop was supported by the Disability Program of the Secretariat of Social Development.